Okay, so guys, we are talking about human health and diseases. Oh, okay. Guys, what has happened? Okay, one moment. Once again, I'll have to reshare. Yeah. Okay. So guys, now first of all, when we talk about human health and diseases, the first thing we need to talk about what do we really mean by human health? Okay. So what do I really mean by health in the first place? So guys, most of us, when we talk about if I ask you a question, are you healthy? Okay. So what are you going to say, guys? Like you are going to be healthy because you are not suffering from any kind of a disease. So that is what you're seeing that you are healthy. But guys, always remember, whenever we talk about like being healthy, it is not merely the absence of a disease. Okay, but it is a total, a total stage of mental, physical, and social well-being. So when we talk about health, guys, health is not merely the absence of a particular disease. Okay, right? Not merely the absence of a particular disease, but it is a complete stage or complete state of mental, social, and physical well-being. Okay, so now what do I mean by this thing? Okay, so physical well-being. So guys, first of all, let's try to say, so let's imagine, guys, let's say tomorrow you just walk on the road, okay, and let's say you are walking on the road and suddenly you go crazy, full crazy, and you start picking up stones and you start throwing it at the passerbys. Now, in that case, guys, are you going to be mentally stable? No. Okay, then you're not going to be mentally stable. Okay, so guys, you may not be suffering from any disease, but you may have some mental derailment. Is that going to be like, in that case, are you going to be really healthy? The answer is no. Or maybe likewise, you're going to be like, having all, you are completely fit and fine. But then maybe you are having like, some kind of your physical disability. Then are you still going to be really healthy? The answer is no. Okay, so guys, so first thing is like, if you're having some mental illnesses, mental troubles, mental trauma, or you are having like, any kind of your bipolar disorder or disorders or something, so in that case, guys, you are not going to be healthy. Next week, okay, let's say we are talking about physical well-being. Okay, now let's imagine, guys, you are going to have your complete body. Okay, and let's imagine today I cut off one of your arm. Okay, in that case, guys, if you lose one arm, are you really going to be healthy in that case? Are you going to be functioning to the best of your abilities? The answer is no. So in that case, guys, you are once again going to be physically, not well built up. Okay, so that is the second thing. And guys, when I talk about social well-being, okay, let's imagine, guys, the way we are like, conversing with one another right now. Okay, let's imagine, guys, tomorrow by any chance, let's say we start talking in ekdam tapori bombay or tapori language. "Eh, kya re, kya kar rahe tu? Idhar kya kar rahe hai?" Okay, so just imagine, guys, now if we start conversing in this language now, do you think we are really going to be like doing good? Absolutely no. So guys, when I talk about mental, social, and physical well-being, you have to be in an overall, okay, in an overall good situation, so that we can say that you are definitely healthy. So always remember, guys, it is not just this, but it is not just the absence of a particular disease, but it is a complete state of mental, social, and physical well-being. That is healthy. Okay, but now, guys, When we talk about health, we also talk about hygiene. Okay, so what is hygiene as such? Okay, so guys, when we talk about the science of good health, okay, that is called as your hygiene. Basically, the science of good health is nothing but hygiene. And basically, whenever we talk about hygiene, just understand, you know, whenever we talk about hygiene, hygiene is going to be of two types. One, it is going to be personal hygiene, and second, it is going to be community hygiene. Okay, so guys, when we talk about personal hygiene, this is going to include all the things that are going you are going to do. Okay, all the things that you are going to do to keep your bodies healthy. Okay, so for example, guys, it may be all your good habits, like brushing your teeth. It can be washing your hands before and after the food, washing your hands with soap and warm water. Okay, so like this, like combing your hair, or maybe emptying your bowels on time, emptying your urinary bladder on time. Okay, or maybe it can be like drinking warm water, okay, at different intervals, or maybe having good amounts of water, maybe having physical exercise, or maybe doing all those small activities which are going to keep your body really healthy. That kind of thing, that kind of hygiene is called as personal hygiene. But now, guys, when we talk about community hygiene, now what is community hygiene? Community hygiene means you are going to keep all your surroundings clean, your surroundings and the nearby things clean. Now, in that case, guys, what are you going to look for? You're going to look for like whether there is a stagnation of water anywhere. If there is stagnation of water, you're going to make sure, or you're going to take steps which is going to clear off that stagnation of water. So one is that. Another thing is you're going to make sure that there are no debris, or there is no garbage which is loitering in your vicinity. Because once again, whether it is puddles, whether it is your garbage, what is going to happen, guys? These are going to act as sources or breeding grounds for different kinds of pathogens or your pests. And then once again, what will happen if by any chance, for example, let's say we are talking about water. Guys, you must have always heard, like sometimes there are these ads which are run by the government, that if by any chance there is stagnant water, remove that water, because you're going to see there is this dengue mosquitoes which are going to be bred in that, or maybe your malaria mosquitoes which are bred in that. So for these reasons, guys, we need to make sure that your surroundings are definitely clean, and that is what is going to be your community hygiene. So guys, we have these two things which are present out over here. One is personal hygiene, and second one is community hygiene. Guys, just a moment, just a moment. Yes, 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 yes. In your personal hygiene, having a bath, cutting your nails, combing your hair, trimming your hair whenever it is required, or cleaning your nails also. Like some people, they have this habit of like having long nails. Okay, but then if you have ever seen, guys, these long nails, they harbor large number of germs, because whenever you scratch, whenever you do activities, suddenly you will see that there is this black thing which is going to be embedded underneath your nail. Okay, so and guys, see, in India how it works, we are going to have food with our hand only. Okay, so while having food and all these germs, all these bad things, they can enter into your body, guys. So that is why like having personal hygiene is really really important. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to have, okay, sir, why is social inclusion definition? See, because what happens, see, if you are not able to communicate with with the someone is saying no, sir. Okay, no, 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 for the other one. Okay, so why is social included? See, maybe because you maybe like, you may be like perfectly fine. Okay, so let's imagine physically you are fit, you are having all the body parts are working properly, you are having a proper body stature, not an issue. Okay, but now what happens is, see, let's say you are mentally stable, you are physically stable, but let's imagine, the way you speak. Okay, like you may be looking like, like you look like, Akshay Kumar, let's imagine. But the moment you open up your mouth, guys, your mouth is like completely filthy. Like, the way you speak, like, full Tapori language. Guys, are you really going to be friends with such kind of a person? Maybe the external appearance is like amazing, but the moment the person speaks, guys, he is going to utter shit. Okay. So, Mike, see, like simple question to you guys, like, how many of you have friends with like, uh, like, tapori guys, or people who fight on the roads, or maybe they hurl abuses. I don't think so. Maybe one or two instances, but I don't think so many of you would be having even friends like that, because we have always been taught that you should stay away from this, yeah, or having silver color hair. Yeah, absolutely right. Having silver color, golden color hair. This is like the current style and stature. I don't know what it is, but the moment you have those highlighted hair, guys, I don't know. Okay, sometimes there are these guys who wear kajal in their eyes. Guys, I don't know what is wrong with them, but it happens that way. So I don't know. I don't know how or why, but then it is, these are some signs we don't want. Yes, absolutely. Manan has given the right word, but I don't want to talk about it, so I am refraining from using it. Anyways, so guys, so that is why even social well-being is going to be very important. Yes, yeah, exactly the same word what Manan has said, but I cannot take it out over here. Yes, so that way. Anyways, so guys, that is going to be your hygiene. Always remember, the science of good health is hygiene. Hygiene is divided into two things. One is your personal hygiene, and second is your community hygiene. Okay, fine. But now, guys, after this community hygiene, we are going to talk about what is a disease exactly. So, guys, remember, whenever we talk about disease, disease is what? Disease is a condition, okay, where you are going to be moved away from feeling easy in your life. See, this is moving away or departure. Ease meaning you're at ease. So when the body is not at ease, then we call this thing as a disease. So basically, what is a disease? Disease is nothing but it is a condition, okay, of deranged functions. It is a condition of deranged functions of functioning. Okay, functioning of one or more organs, or it can be your organ systems as well. One or more organs, organ systems. And why is this? Okay, this may be caused because of infection, defective diet, because of infection, defective diet. Okay, or it can also be because of your heredity, because your heredity or your genetics makeup is going to make you predisposed to certain diseases. Even that is possible. So maybe because of your heredity as well. So etc. 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 So whenever the body shows a departure from normal stature or normal condition, then we call this thing as disease. Okay, but now when we talk about immunology, what do I mean by immunology? So let's try to see. So guys, always remember. So whenever we talk about immunology, we are going to be talking about your immune system. And immune system meaning, guys, generally your WBCs, when they are going to produce, okay, when they are going to produce your antibodies, or when they're going to try to protect you from the disease, then we generally call this thing as your immunology. But we have different types of immunology also. So we will see what is this immunology, what is this immunity exactly. So guys, First of all, immunology is nothing but it is the science which deals with the study of immune system. So first, okay, the science which deals with the study of immune system. Okay, but not only the immune system, but it also studies different aspects of the immune system. Like what? It is also going to study your immune response. Meaning, let's imagine a germ enters into your body. And now, as the moment the germ enters into your body, what is your body going to do? How is it going to react? How is it going to mount that immune response? That is also going to be studied. So, immune response to foreign substances, okay, to foreign substances, and how are they going to prevent the infection and their role in resisting an infection. Okay, and their role is in your resisting an infection. So this is what we need to know about immunology. But now, guys, when we talk about immunology, immunology can be of different types. Okay, now there are many fields in immunology. I'm just going to list out a few ones for you guys. Okay, so the first one is your basic immunology. Now, in basic immunology, what do we do, guys? Here we just study the structure of immune system. Okay, we're just going to study the structure of immune system. How is the immune system? What are the different types of cells present? How are they going to react? How they are going to bring about their how they bring about their roles and all. That is what we are going to study in this thing. So this is nothing but the study of structure of immune system. That's it. That is basic immunology. Okay. Second. Okay. Second thing after this, guys, we have clinical clinical immunology. And guys, what is clinical immunology? Here we are going to be studying about vaccinations, immunizations. Okay. So you will study out over here vaccines. What is immunization? So now, guys, when we talk about vaccination and immunization, there is a very fine difference. Okay, always remember, vaccination means what? Vaccination means introduction of vaccines into your body. That is vaccination. But the moment you develop a resistance because of vaccination, then that is called as immunization. Okay, so there is just a hairline difference between the two things, but most of the people they use both the terms invariably. Okay, because there is just a fine line between them. Here, we are also going to be talking about your organ transplants. We also talk about your organ transplants. Okay, now the next one, guys, after this, we have your laboratory. Okay, now laboratory immunology. Yes. So, guys, what we're going to do is in this thing, we are going to be detecting all the different things, like, detection of your antibodies, detection of your diseases. See, guys, these days, we are having this COVID-19, like, analysis and all. What is that? That is nothing but laboratory immunology. So, we are developing methods or ways by which we are detecting your antibodies. Okay, or we are detecting different kinds of diseases by some or the other way. Okay, so we are detection of your diseases, detection of your antibodies, etc., etc., diseases, infection, etc., etc., etc. That is laboratory immunology. Okay, and finally, guys, after this, okay, we are going to have one more, which is another field of immunology, which is called as serology. Now, what do we do in the serology, guys? Here, we generally analyze the serum. And guys, what is the serum? This is nothing but the liquid part of the blood without one component. Guys, can you quickly tell me, anyone, when we talk about serum, serum is nothing but your blood plasma minus something, guys. Very nice, Parnavi. It is minus your fibrinogen. Very nice. Okay, because fibrinogen is the blood clotting factor. In your serum, the blood clotting factor is missing. Okay, yes, very nice. Okay, so we have this serum, but now, guys, you know what? In your serum, you are going to see huge amounts of antibodies. So, guys, whatever antibodies you produce, they are going to be present in your blood plasma, right? And from the blood plasma, they can be extracted out. So, guys, you must have heard of, like, blood plasma therapy. Okay, when we talked about COVID, guys, in COVID, right at the start, when we did not have the vaccine and all, people were going for plasma therapy, if you remember this. Guys, why plasma therapy? Because the antibodies and all, they are going to be present in the plasma. So let's say you are resistant to a particular disease. Okay, maybe because you have just recovered from a particular disease, I can take your blood, I can separate the plasma, and that plasma can contain your antibodies. I can take your plasma and inject it into someone else. Immediately the other person who gets the plasma, he will not suffer from the disease because he has got ready-made or pre-formed antibodies. That is the thing, guys. Okay, so when we talk about serum, guys, in serum we are going to be talking about your antigen antibody reactions. Antigen, okay, and antigen antibody reactions. Okay, why don't they do this for COVID? Is it due to compatibility? No, we do it for COVID. Right at the start, we used to have this plasma therapy. We do it. Okay, so now, guys, let's try to see. Then why didn't it become more often thing? No, it was a good thing. Like, right at the start, people were undergoing this COVID, this thing only, plasma therapy. But however, you know what, plasma therapy is a little on the expensive side as well, because it is like, you cannot just take anybody's plasma and put it into your body. You have to first check the plasma whether it is going to be disease free, this, that. So there are many things which you need to check. Okay, so that is why it is on the more expensive side. And what happens is most of the people, they are not ready for donating their blood. There is, I don't know what, but then people will refrain from donating blood. So that was another thing that was hampering it actually. Okay, anyways, so let's try to move ahead. Right. But now, guys, when we talk about your immune system, why is your immune system so important? Okay, and why, there is utmost importance given to it. Let's try to see. So, guys, immune system, whenever you talk about it, your immune system works in the most fantastic way, guys. Okay, why? Because it does two things invariably. Okay, first thing, guys, what it does is, see, in your body, there are going to be so many different parts, so many cells doing so many different things, plus producing so many different compounds, right? But now, still, no matter whatever it is, your body will still know what is your self and what is non-self antigens. Okay, so basically, the best part of the immune system that it can differentiate. Now, had it been that it could not differentiate, it would have started killing your own cells. And guys, that is what exactly happens in autoimmune disorders, where your body fails to recognize your body only and starts eliciting an immune response against your own self. So that is autoimmune disorder. Okay, so basic thing is here, it is able to differentiate. So it differentiates between self and non-self antigen. Okay, this is first thing. Okay, and second thing, guys, even when they produce, like, different kinds of your antibodies and all, whenever they kill germs and all, guys, they will always have immunological memory. Okay, so now what do I mean by this thing? Okay, so guys, you know what? See, whenever we have, like, a germ, let's say a germ has entered into your body. So let's think of our cases only. Guys, most of you must have suffered from chicken pox. Okay. So how many of you have suffered from chicken pox twice? Is there any person out over here who has suffered from chicken pox twice? No, none. Okay, strange. Guys, see, the reason for this is yes, they always say that you won't get it for the second time, but there are a few people who still get it the second time. Okay, that is a little anomaly. But then, guys, 99% of the times you are going to get chickenpox only once in your life. And you know why is that? Because the moment the germs enter your body, you get the chickenpox. Now your body keeps a record of it. Okay, it is possible that you may not have even got once. Okay, because your body must have been tackling, or your body must not have got in touch with the germs. So it is quite possible. Yes, it is quite possible. You can have the vaccines also. See, earlier we did not have a vaccine. Like, people used to suffer from it. These days we have a vaccine available. Right. Okay, so now, guys, what happens when the germ enters into your body? The WBCs are going to fight with it. They are going to keep a record. Okay, and then who's going to keep a record? Actually, guys, it is going to be two memory cells: the memory B cell and the memory T cell, guys. Both of them, they keep a record. So next time, whenever the germ enters into your body, immediately it is going to be recognized. Oh, this is a foreign thing. We need to kill this thing down. That is how it is going to happen, guys. Okay, so that is what is your immunological memory. So why do we get fever or cold times in our lifetime? Is it protective mechanism? Yes, absolutely. But now, why do you get cold? See, the reason for this is that the cold virus, it keeps on mutating every now and then, every now and then. So when it mutates, your body doesn't know that, oh, this was the previous one. If it is the previous one, it can fight with it. But if it is something new, you have to suffer from it. So that is why you keep on getting, cold and cough again and again, again and again, again and again. Uh, Sir, why do elders say that getting chicken pox, getting chicken pox necessary to come? I don't necessary to come. Okay, especially for girls for future purposes. No, absolutely no. I have, I don't know what this is. Okay, I have never heard of this kind of thing. No, I am not sure of it. I have never heard of it. Okay, sir, like if we haven't had it even once, or there are chances we have risk of still getting chickenpox, yes, absolutely. If you have never got it in once and you haven't taken the vaccine, maybe you will still get the disease if you come in contact with it. Yes. Okay, so now, guys, when we talk about this, the entire immune system, what is this immune system mainly going to consist of? So, if you talk about this immune system, mainly this is going to consist of three things. Okay, so what is this, guys? First one. Okay, so you are going to see that we have tissues. So, you're going to have different tissues and all who are going to help you in fighting. Okay, you have one entire system, guys, that has been given to it, and that is nothing but your lymphoid organs. Okay, and the third thing, the lymphoid organs or the lymphatic system, and the third one, guys, we are going to have antibodies. By making use of all these three things, they are going to help fight your diseases. Okay, but now, guys, see, I have used the term antigen. So let's try to understand what is this antigen. Okay. So, guys, there are always going to be two things. One is what is an antigen, and the second one, what is an antibody. Now, always remember what is an antigen. Let's say you have a bacteria. Okay. Now, this bacteria needs to be recognized into your body. Now, how will it recognize? Okay. So, guys, generally what happens, you are going to see that there are going to be certain proteins. Okay. The certain proteins onto the body, maybe the cell membrane, maybe onto the flagella, something of that sort. Sir, I just asked my mother for confirmation. So she get So she said that girls must get chicken pox before 10 years. That's what my prediction told her. Why, sir? I don't know where this is coming from, but it is not necessary. Why should you always suffer from the disease? It is not necessary. I don't know what belief is this thing. I've never heard of this thing actually before. Okay. Uh, I don't know. You should ask her why is it so. Ask her like why is it happened. Oh, why is it necessary? What is it going to give you? Ask her. I don't think so. There is any rationale behind this thing. Okay. Okay, so guys, what happens is whenever you talk about any kind of your germ, any kind of a pathogen, you will always see that guys there are going to be these things. Okay, these proteins or maybe carbohydrates or maybe fats which are presented. Sir, I had a doubt that does immunity pass down genetically via tissue memory? No, 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 no. See, not by tissue. So see, your body may come in contact with different kinds of diseases. That does not mean that when you will have a baby, you are going to pass the same immunity to the baby. No. See, if it is there in your DNA, okay, and we are going to talk about it. So I have to tell you, like, how does the different types of immunity system works. So if it is there in the DNA, then only you can pass it to the next generation. If it is there in your tissue and if it is there, like, temporary, then you won't get it. So for example, let's say, see, your parents are immune to BCG. I mean, you're immune to your tuberculosis because they have taken the BCG vaccine. Let's say they have taken the typhoid vaccine also, so they should be immune to typhoid, right? But then when you are born, you will also take the same vaccines, right? Had you been right in this thing, then the parents should have transferred the immunity to the babies also. But no, the babies have to take all different kinds of vaccines right from their birth, right? So no, it is not going to be passed down that way. Okay, so you have to whenever a new baby is born, it has to take all those vaccines once again. Hey, we have BCG. You must have heard of DTP also, diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis. Okay, these are like very very famous. So BCG vaccine. So just check onto your left arm. Okay, onto the left arm towards the shoulder, you will have a little khadda out over here. Okay, on the left arm. So you must have felt that oh, this is nothing but this is your birthmark. No, guys, it is not your birthmark or anything. That khadda is because the BCG vaccine was given out over there. And once the BCG vaccine is given, you will see a big pimple coming out, and that big pimple, it just bursts open. And then whatever remains is that khadda. So it is that way. So always remember, see, if that was the thing, guys, like, if it was passed down via tissue memory, then all the new babies wouldn't have had it. Okay, new babies wouldn't have had to have the vaccines. Sir, I don't have a hole. Am I vaccinated? Yes, you must have taken even the recent vaccine. That is why you don't see a hole out of there. Okay. In fact, if you should look at the hole on your parents' arm. Okay, it is like humongous. It is absolutely huge. Anyways, so now guys, what is this antigen? Okay, it can be a carbohydrate, it can be a fat, it can be protein, it can be anything. Okay, any substance. Okay, this can be anything. Okay, any substance. Okay, which is capable. Okay, okay, any substance which on entering the body. Okay, which on entering the body is capable of eliciting an immune response. Okay, which is capable of eliciting an immune response. That thing is called as an antigen. Okay, so it has to be recognized by the body. That is the only idea. Okay, but now just like we have antigen, now guys, we are going to have antibody that is going to be against it. Let's try to see. So now what is this antibody? Now guys, antibodies, they are going to be these Y-shaped structures. Okay, these are also your proteins only. They belong to a class of immunoglobulins. We will talk about this thing a little later. Okay, and what are these going to do, guys? These are going to go and they are going to attack the antigen. That is the idea. So what are antibodies? Antibodies are nothing but these are the proteins. Again, these are nothing but these are the proteins which are produced. Okay, which are produced and directed in response to the antigen. In response to the antigen by the body. Oh, just a moment. Just a moment. Someone's at the door. Okay, so guys, once these antibodies are produced, guys, these antibodies they are going to go and they are going to attack this antigen. Once again, guys, I will let you know how it is going to happen a little later. Okay, we have all these mechanisms to be seen. First thing, my entire idea is to make you aware of all the different terms that are generally used in this chapter. Okay, so that you have a clear-cut idea what is happening. Okay, fine. And now, guys, the next thing is what is your immunity? See, we have talked about your immune system, right? So, what is this immunity? Okay, so see, when we talk about immunity, immunity is nothing but it is the resistance to the onset of the disease. Meaning, see, let's say after the disease causing germs have entered into your body, then how is the body really going to fight with them? And how is the body going to render the germs harmless? That is nothing but your immunity, guys. Okay, so it is nothing but it is immunity. If we talk about this, is nothing but the resistance to the onset of the disease. Okay, resistance to the onset. Yes, onset of the disease after the disease causing germs have entered into the body. Okay, that is nothing but your immunity. Or we can also talk about it, there's one more definition to it, that it is the capacity of the body to recognize, identify, and neutralize and destroy foreign substances and resist the particular disease or infection. But you can write one of them and that should be fine. Okay, but now, okay, we are saying that, okay, chalo, we are having immunity, we are going to fight with the germs, we are going to fight with the antigens, we are going to produce antibodies against them and all. But guys, where are these germs actually entering into your body? Like, how is your body being attacked by these things? So let's try to see where are the germs going to enter into your body. So always remember, guys, the germs enter the body, okay, through four different ways. Okay, so for example, guys, first thing, the most important thing, you have food and water. Okay, guys, food and water, food or drinking. Basically, this is the biggest thing. Guys, you are always going to have food, you are always going to consume water. So, whenever you have food, especially from all the bad places or unhygienic places, immediately you are allowing germs to enter into your body and therefore cause diseases to you. Okay, so guys, you must have also always heard that because sometimes the sewage water was just the sewage water was contaminated with your drinking water, immediately it resulted into an epidemic or it resulted into an endemic of typhoid, right? This thing is what is going to happen, guys, because this is the easiest way your germs are going to enter into your body. Second thing, guys, once again, we cannot avoid this at all. Guys, this is going to be through the air that we breathe. Because for living you have to be alive. For breathing, okay, you always need to take the air whatever that is there. And if for any reason, guys, the air besides you is contaminated, if it is going to be polluted, immediately you are going to see that the germs are going to enter to your body, and then once again they are going to cause the disease. Third thing, guys, the biggest source is going to be your skin. Okay, now what happens, guys, throughout the entire day, you must be going like, different places. And guys, whenever you walk on the road, what do you think? On the road, there's so much amount of dust, and these dust particles, they are also going to contain your germs. So all throughout the day, guys, you are collecting germs onto your skin. And what happens? These germs, they are just going to be waiting there just to get one single chance. Maybe that your skin may have a scratch, there might be a little opening, and these germs will get an opportunity to enter inside. Oh, sorry. Oh, I resistant to the onset of the disease. ये repeat हो गया. Sorry, my mistake, it repeated. Onset of the disease after the disease causing germs have entered the body. Okay, so guys, this is what is there. So guys, always remember, okay, always remember, when we talk about the skin, they are going to be resting on the skin and they are going to be waiting for an opportunity to get on into the skin. And third and the last thing, guys, we are going to have your mucous membranes. Now, guys, all your mucous membranes, they are highly susceptible for infection. And where do we see this mucous membrane, guys? You are going to see it in the eyes, conjunctivitis, nose, your, cold, common cold every now and then. And guys, you're also going to have this in your genitals. So the entire penis, the entire vagina, this is all going to have your mucous membrane lining. So you are going to see sexually transmitted diseases, because of this thing. So etc, etc, etc. So these are the four ways in which the germs will always try to enter into your body. Okay, but now, guys, the next thing we need to talk about a little bit, like I said, we have vaccines, so we'll talk about vaccination and what is immunization. Okay, so what is vaccination? Vaccination is nothing but it is the process of artificial introduction. Okay, I will just tell you why do I say it is artificial introduction. Again, it is the process of artificial introduction of germs or germ substances. Okay, in the body, to develop a resistance against the germs, or to develop a resistance against them, to develop a resistance against them, or against the disease, against them. This is vaccination. And guys, here what is going to happen is you are going to purposely put these germs into your body. So for example, guys, let's say you must have taken the typhoid booster. So what do? We are going to have the weakened germ, or we are going to have the dead germ. So you're going to take that germ and you're going to put it into your body. And then the body is going to recognize it, and immediately it is going to start producing antibodies. In turn, it is going to prevent you from further infection. That is what we mean by your vaccination. Okay, but now let's see the immunization. Like I said, guys, what is immunization? The moment you develop a resistance because of vaccination, that is this thing. Okay, so this is nothing but the act of developing resistance, or the process of developing a resistance due to vaccination. Okay, due to vaccination, that is immunization. Guys, in your scientific terms, this vaccination, we have a term for this thing. We call this thing as prophylaxis. Okay, this is also known as prophylaxis. Okay, fine. Okay, so guys, this is what we need to know with regards to your vaccination and your immunization. But now, guys, the next thing that I want to talk about is I want you to have an idea about what is your local defense mechanism and what is your immune system as such. Okay, because see, in your textbook, if you look at it, guys, they have directly jumped into your immunity. What are the different types of immunity? How is it going to be like? And so on and so forth. Guys, we cannot do that. We cannot study it that way. Why? Because there are going to be so many basic things which are missing in the textbook, which we need to cover up first. Then only will be in a position to understand everything properly. Okay, so first let's try to see, guys, what is your defense mechanism made up of. Okay, and then I will tell you also, like, how your textbook has, like, combined two three things together and all. Okay, so that is a little later, but okay. So guys, when we talk about your immune system, immune system can be of two defense system. Okay, so when we talk about your defense system is going to be of two types. Okay, so what is it? So first thing, guys, we have your local defense mechanism. Okay, and the second one after this, that is going to be your immune system. So local defense mechanism and the immune system. Okay, so now let's try to see, guys, what is the difference between the two. Guys, first thing that you always need to keep it in mind. What is local defense mechanism? Guys, local defense mechanism is the one which prevents the entry of germs into the body. It prevents the entry of germs into the body by hook or by crook. This is nothing but your local defense mechanism. Okay, and guys, here what are you going to see generally? We are going to have skin, we are going to have hair, okay, we are going to have like your mucus, all those things, they are going to be present out over here. Okay, we'll talk about this. But guys, here, this mechanism, basically, it is going to make sure that the germs should not enter into your body at all. That is the idea. Okay, but now what happens, guys, with evolution, what has happened, all these germs, they are also evolved. Okay, they have been evolving along with us. And now, even if your body tries to prevent them from entering, still they have found out new ways by which they can enter into your body and they can attack your entire body. So that way. So guys, once the germs have entered into the body, meaning they have entered into your blood or they have entered into the tissues or any other thing, then your immune system is going to come into action. So always remember, immune system is the one which acts only after. Okay, it acts only after the germs, only after the germs have entered the body. Okay, meaning they have entered into your blood or into your tissues. But now guys, this immune system in turn is divided into two parts. Okay, so what are the two parts? So we have something that is called as innate immunity, and the second one, guys, this is called as your acquired immunity. So we have innate immunity and we have acquired immunity. Now, what is the difference between the two? Innate meaning this is going to be inborn. It is going to be present in your body right from the start. Okay. Whereas when we talk about your acquired immunity is the one which is going to be acquired as you move on in life slowly. After you start suffering from different kind of diseases, then that immunity is known as your acquired immunity. Okay, but now guys, first thing that we'll just quickly look at is what is your local defense mechanism. Okay, so let me just give you an idea. Okay, so now guys, in your local defense mechanism, what are we going to see? See, we are going to have a series of options out over here. So the first thing is, guys, we are going to have some physical barriers. And guys, these physical barriers, they are going to prevent the germs from entering into the body. So first one is physical barrier. Second one, we are going to have, like, if they enter into your body by some or the other method, they are going to be thrown out. Thrown out if entered. Okay. Second one. Then third one, we are going to have germ killing secretions. Okay, germ killing secretions like your HCl, or we're talking about your tears or nasal secretions, all those things. And guys, lastly, this is a new class of this thing. Basically, like here, when we talk about this thing, it is going to talk about your WBCs. But guys, this WBCs, they're just going to help in your phagocytosis. Okay, these are not the ones which are actually producing your antibodies, guys. Okay, so these are not the antibody producing this thing, the WBCs. Okay, only phagocytosis. Okay, but now let's try to see what are the physical barriers and how it is going to work, guys. Okay, so when we talk about the physical barriers, like I said, these physical barriers, they are going to prevent the germs from entering into the body. And this is nothing but, always remember, the first line of defense. Why first line of defense? Very simple. You know why? Because see, when we talk about your physical barrier, we are going to be talking about, like, your skin. And skin is nothing but, like, it is the first line of defense, because it is not going to allow any germ to enter into the body. So that way, so always remember, these physical barriers, they are always going to be the first line of defense. Okay, fine. But now, guys, when we talk about our skin, how is our skin? Okay, so let's say we are talking about skin out over here. Okay, but now, see, when we talk about the skin, how is the skin? The skin is nothing but it is impenetrable. Okay, and at the same time, guys, this is going to be your impermeable. Now, what do I mean by impermeable? Impermeable meaning you will see that water cannot enter through it. Water cannot enter through it. But you must have seen that, water oozes out through the skin or your skin pores, right? So why am I saying that this is impermeable and it is going to be impenetrable? See, the reason for this being impermeable, guys, is, let's see, see, for example, you go for a shower. Okay, so let's say you go for a shower. Okay, what happens? See, you are having, okay, let's imagine in your body, you are going to have high concentration of your solutes. Okay, high concentration of your solutes, or it is salts, for example. Okay, so if you that will if that makes you understand. Okay, you are going to have high concentration of salt, right? So if there is high concentration of salt, we can say there is low concentration of water. Because how it is, guys, see, this is your balance. Okay, let's imagine this is balance. On one side we have solutes, and on one side we have your water. Always remember this thing. Okay, now what happens is, see, as the concentration of the solute increases, if solute becomes more, the water level decreases, and vice versa. If the solute level decreases, water level is more, right? So now, guys, let's say, okay, so this is going to be technically low water levels, right? Now let's say you go and you dive into a swimming pool, or let's say you have a bathtub. Okay, in the bathtub you are going to see that you are going to have nice water, which is not salty, which is not like any kind of like impurities and all, right? Salty. Okay, so we are going to have water without salt. Now, can I say outside you have high concentration of water, inside the body you have low concentration of water? Where the would the water move from? The water will always move from high concentration to its low concentration. And how is it going to move across from here? With the help of your skin, right? But now, guys, have you ever seen this thing that when you go and take a shower, suddenly after coming out you are like batata vada? Has it ever happened to you that way, that in a small instant you are like suddenly huge? I don't think so, guys. The reason why this doesn't happen is because your skin is impermeable. Your skin does not allow the water to pass through it. Okay, so it is a barrier. So, and why is it going to be a barrier? Who is going to make it as a barrier, guys? That property is because of your protein called as keratin. Okay, so this is impermeable because of keratin. Okay, where else are we going to find this keratin, guys? Keratin is also found in your hair. Okay, you must have seen that L'Oreal ka ad, keratinology, keratinology. Okay, it's the same thing basically. Okay, so first is skin, guys. Second thing after that, like in your physical barriers only. Okay, and that is nothing but your local defense mechanism. You are going to have hair. Now, guys, what happens, when we talk about hair, the hair on the arm, the hair on the legs, they are going to act like a jungle for your germs. As a result of which, what happens is, even if these germs, they are trying to move. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so, okay, fine. If anybody is having trouble with my screen, let me know, okay? Huh. So, guys, now what happens is when the germs are going to be moving upwards, okay, they are, see, their ultimate aim is to move into your mouth or to move into your nose. Okay, so that is the ultimate aim. So now what they are going to do is they are going to try to, move or walk on the surface of the skin so that they will reach the mouth. But then, is that journey going to be so easy? No, the journey is not going to be easy, because now we are going to have your hair, and that hair is going to act as a hindrance. It is going to prevent the germs from entering into the mouth by any means. That is your hair. Okay, but now hair also do a few other things. Not screen, but voice is becoming slow. Achanak. Oh, okay. 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 So also remember, guys, when we talk about hair, see, we are going to have hair. Okay. Okay. So guys, let's imagine we have our nose. In our nose also, we are going to have your nasal hair, right? So let's imagine it is this way. Okay. So I'll draw it from the side views, then only. Okay. So once again, guys, in your nose also, we are going to have your hair. So that is nothing but your nasal hair, right? Now, what is the job of this nasal hair? So here, you're going to see many of them in this region. What is the job? Guys, their job is to trap the dust, dirt, and the germs. That is it, and prevent their entry into the trachea and from the trachea into your alveoli. That's it. So here, this is the job is to trap the dust, dirt, and germs. Okay, fine. Next thing, guys, we are going to have your mucus. Okay, so where are we going to find this mucus? We are going to find this thing lining your entire trachea, lining your entire intestines. Okay, so but now here, let's try to see. This is going to be lining, or it lines the trachea. Okay, and what is its job? It helps to remove the dust. Once again, dust, dirt, and the germs. Okay, so now let's see how this is going to happen. So guys, once again, let's say you have your nostrils just like this. Okay, and besides this, you are going to have all the mucus, which is present. Okay, now let's imagine if the mucus is present, now what happens? So guys, let's imagine the air is going to enter into the nose. Now air contains a large number of your unfiltered particles. It is going to contain your dust particles as well, right? But now, should these dust particles enter into your lungs? No, guys, because if it enters into your lungs, then you will start suffering from many complicated diseases. Okay, first of all, if all these dust particles enter into your alveoli, then the first thing that you will start suffering from is your pneumonia. Okay, where germs they multiply into your chest region, and then there is water retention because of it. Okay, so there are many things associated with this. Now let's imagine, so we have your mucus. Okay, now what happens? How does the air move? The air doesn't move like this, zupo, that way. Okay, but rather what is going to happen, you're going to see that the air is going to move like this. It starts hitting onto the side walls, and then it enters like this into your system. But now guys, while it is moving like this, what happens? Guys, you already had mucus out over there. So can I say, as the air moves to the top, it is going to undergo large amounts of filtration because of your mucus. So that is why mucus is also very important. Okay, so these are the first three things that we need to know in your physical barriers. Second thing, guys, we are going to have thrown out if they entered. Okay, so okay, so how is it that they are going to be thrown out if they by any chance gain entry into your body? So guys, here there are going to be various mechanisms that are present. Like for example, guys, the simplest thing, coughing. Now, why are you coughing? The reason is because you want to force the germs out of your system, so that now you might want to have some relief. That is coughing. Okay. Second thing is, once again, you're sneezing. So coughing, sneezing. Okay. Along with this, guys, we also have vomiting. Next, we are also going to have diarrhea. Okay, now guys, one second, you may think that diarrhea, why is this body's defense mechanism? Why is it even included? Because we don't even think of it in that manner. Okay, but now the understand the reasoning behind this, guys. Now what happens is, let's see, I told you most of the important routes into your body is through your food. Okay, so let's say through the food, the germs have entered into your body. Now, what is going to happen? The body is going to start an immune response, or the body is going to do something to, remove that thing. So, in that case, guys, what happens is the body thinks that, oh, if I remove this, food, will I feel a little better? Yes. And immediately, in search of that, guys, immediately you are going to see that all the bowels are going to be emptied out. That is nothing but once again your this thing, okay, thrown out if they enter forcibly. Okay, next thing after this we are going to have our germ killing secretions. Okay, so let me just see what are our germ killing secretions. Okay, so guys, germ killing secretions, you are going to have many of them. For example, guys, in your tears, okay, we have the tear sac, and inside the tear sac, guys, you are going to see an enzyme called as lysosome. Okay, so it's sorry, you're going to have the enzyme lysozyme. Okay, so very, very important, guys. Now, what is the job of this lysozyme? This is the one which helps to break the cell walls. Okay, so that is why this lysozyme is very important. Okay, next thing is we are going to have your nasal secretion. Okay, now generally what happens is these nasal secretions, they contain your uh, interferons, and these interferons, what are they going to do? They are going to alarm, or they are going to alert all the neighboring cells that, oh, in this cell there is a viral infection, and now you other guys, be prepared that you shouldn't die because of that viral infection. This is the kind of mechanism we are talking about, guys. Okay, this is like communication type of mechanism which ultimately helps in your germ killing. Okay, anyway, then next thing, guys, we are going to have your sweat. We are also going to have saliva. Okay, and guys, the last but the most important thing, we have HCl in our stomach. That is what is important. Okay, last one out over here, we have WBCs. Now, guys, I told you here, WBCs, we are talking about only one part of WBC, or one function of WBCs. Okay, so let's imagine we have your WBCs. Now, what are these WBCs going to show us? Guys, they are always going to show us diapedesis. Okay, so what is diapedesis? Let's try to understand, guys. So let's say this is your blood vessel, and let's say by some or the reason there is this, a small pebble or a rock kind of thing. Let's imagine it. Okay, and I'm going to show you a little bit of transition. Okay. Now, guys, the moment you are going to have, any kind of your germ or any kind of your foreign body inside your body, immediately you're going to see the WBCs are going to be alerted. Yes. So now what happens is, see, first, let's imagine this. Okay, this WBC has entered into your bloodstream. But now, after it enters into your bloodstream, now you will see that it is going to show you large number of efforts to come out. Okay, ultimately this is going to be quite successful in coming out. Guys, what is this entire process called? This entire process is nothing but your diapedesis. Okay, this is our diapedesis. But now, guys, what happens, after it shows diapedesis, in the next case you are going to see that it is going to start destroying the germ like this. Okay, so it is going to start embracing the germ. In the next case, guys, you're going to see that this thing has become even more. Okay, it is trying to embrace it even more. And last thing, guys, you are going to see that this is going to be engulfed. Now this is ready for your division this way. Division meaning it has to be killed. This entire process where it moves out from the diapedesis and enters into the corporate life, basically, like, where it is going to move and kill the germs. He becomes a contract killer kind of a thing. Guys, this is nothing but your phagocytosis. Okay, so we are going to have diapedesis and phagocytosis. Okay, so that is nothing but your WPCs, diapedesis and your phagocytosis. Okay, and now let's try to see one very small thing, guys. What is the importance of local system, local defense mechanism? So let's try to put down a few merits. Okay, so first thing is, guys, this, whenever we are talking about local defense mechanism, it is going to be active around a wide variety of your germs or antigens. Okay, this is active against a wide variety or range of antigens. Okay, second thing. Okay, guys, remember, local defense mechanism, we are talking about your skin especially. This is going to act immediately. So it acts. Okay, it acts immediately or it acts spontaneously, so you don't have to wait that, okay, abhi jam aa gaya hai, to let 6 hours ke baad mein it will act. No, it is going to be instantaneous. And the other important thing is it doesn't require any immunological memory. Okay, fine. Okay, so guys, just have a look at this thing. Okay, just see if you're okay. There is only one demerit associated with it. I'll tell you this thing. Okay, the demerit is only thing is that, even though the body is trying that so high that the germs should not enter into your body, still you will always see that the germs have found out one or the other ways by which it can still enter into the body. Okay. Sure. So guys, just have a look at this thing. Just see if you're okay with this, if you have understood. Okay, and we'll take a break out over here for 5 minutes, guys. Quickly, anybody who wishes to go to the loo, go and come quickly. Okay, so guys, quickly, just 5 minutes break, and then we'll start again. Serene demerits, it is not much efficient. No, no, it is very efficient, and that is why you don't suffer from diseases every now and then. Okay, guys, let's move ahead. Okay, so guys, in your demerits, okay, we have only one thing. The germs can still get access. Okay, sure. Okay, but now, guys, the next thing that we're going to see is what is your immune system. Okay, and this is very important, guys. So for today, you need to understand what is this immune system. Then everything will be all right. Then next class, we can build up on this thing. Okay, now, guys, when we talk about your WBCs, I told you WBCs, they are going to produce. See, WBCs, they produce antibodies. Okay, and they're also going to show you phagocytosis. But now, when they produce antibodies, guys, okay, let me just show you. These antibodies, they come up into your blood. Okay, so these are going to enter into your blood. And the moment it enters into blood, guys, we call this thing as humoral immunity. Okay, in your entire life, guys, you are going to come across different types of your immunity. Humoral immunity, cell mediated immunity. Then we are going to have like, other types of immunities also. Okay, but then first thing is humoral immunity. Okay, chalo, theek hai. But now, guys, when we talk about the immune system, always remember we are mostly looking at antibody. Okay, not like we are looking at some only your antibody and nothing else, nahi. But then mostly we are talking about your antibodies. Okay, and this immunity which is provided by your antibodies, this is now known as your humoral immunity. Okay, so now, guys, what happens? Immune system, like I said, okay, so we have immune system. The immune system is going to be divided into your two parts. Okay, so we said we have innate immunity. Okay, now innate immunity, guys, this is also known by other names. We also call this thing as inborn immunity. Now, why? Because it is going to be present in your body right from your birth. That is why inborn immunity. Next one, we also call this thing as your native immunity, or we also call this thing as your natural immunity. Okay, now this, guys, actually we also call this thing as non-specific immunity, because this is going to be against all the different types of your this thing. Okay, so basically this is your non-specific immunity, but I will talk about this thing a little later. Okay, but now, why are you going to have this innate immunity? How is it that you're going to get resistance to certain diseases? Okay, so how is it that you're going to get resistance to certain diseases? See, the reason for this is it is due to your DNA. So this innate immunity is going to be by the virtue of DNA. So it is by the virtue of genetic material, and that is DNA. Okay, now what happens, guys, is see, in your DNA, it has been written that you are not going to suffer from some particular kind of a disease. So then you will not suffer. Why? Because it is there in your DNA. You are going to have resistance to that disease. That is what is going to happen. Okay, and always remember this thing: innate immunity is always going to be by the virtue of your DNA. Okay, but now, guys, your innate immunity is actually further divided into two types. So we have non-specific innate immunity and we are going to have specific innate immunity. So let's try to see. So specific and non-specific. Okay. So non-specific and this is innate immunity. Okay. So specific innate immunity, non-specific innate immunity. Okay. But now, guys, when I talk about specific innate immunity, what does this mean? It means you are going to have a resistance against only a specific disease. Okay, so you are going to have resistance against a particular disease only. Okay, resistance against one particular disease. Okay, so for example, guys, see, in your dogs, there are two types of diseases. One is rabies and one is distemper. By the virtue meaning by the it because of, okay, it is because of the genetic material. Okay, so guys, in your dogs there are going to be two diseases. One is distemper and the other one is rabies. My question to you guys, have you ever seen or heard anybody suffering from distemper, any human, because of a dog bite? Okay, what happens in distemper is you are going to be completely crazy, you go full mental. Okay, that way. But no, I'm damn sure you must have never heard of people suffering from distemper. Yes, why? The reason for this is it is written in our DNA that you will never suffer from distemper. And that is why we have immunity against distemper. So, guys, so I just mentioned out over here, we will not suffer. We will not suffer from distemper, which is again a dog disease only, but will suffer from rabies. Okay, so see, we have specific innate immunity only against distemper, but rabies you can suffer. Okay, so this is what we are trying to show, guys. Okay, and the second thing, non-specific innate immunity. Now, what do I mean by non-specific innate immunity, guys? Here, you are not going to suffer from an entire specific category of diseases. Okay, so here I'll just mention out over here. This non-specific innate immunity, this is going to be against an entire group. Okay, this is going to be against an entire group of diseases. Okay, so who are we talking about, guys? My question to you is, have you ever suffered from brown rust? Like, in brown rust, basically it happens to your wheat and all. Okay, what happens, there is going to be like a fungal infection, and then you will see like there is corroding of the fruits and all, okay, or the seeds and all, right? Has it ever happened that suddenly one fine day you have got up and you have seen that, oh, from your skin there is this brownish powder which is oozing out? No, I don't think so. Or maybe have you ever um, a scene like in the case of your lemons, there is this brown spots called that you'll be able to see. Has it ever happened that you have gone to sleep and suddenly the next day when you wake up, you are going to see all brown spots throughout your entire body? No, it doesn't happen. Okay, so why is this thing? It is because, guys, we have resistance against the entire class of plant diseases. It is written in our DNA that you will not suffer from plant diseases that way. Okay, so non-specific innate immunity, this is going to be against an entire group of diseases, and especially we don't suffer from plant disease. Okay.
हट मुझे
Sorry.
बैठने देना है
Okay, Sure. Okay, but now, so this was with regards to your innate immunity. So guys, just have a look at innate immunity. Just see if you're okay with this. If anybody wants to ask question, yeah. Okay, from this part. Then we'll move on to your acquired immunity. Acquired immunity is a little in depth. Okay, so now let's try to see the next one, guys. Okay, so on the next side, guys, we are going to have your acquired immunity. Okay, so what is acquired immunity, guys? Acquired immunity is the one which you have acquired as you move on in life. That is acquired immunity. Okay, or we also see that this is going to be your adaptive immunity. Okay, or we also call this thing as your specific immunity. Why? Because you are going to get this immunity specific for different diseases only. That is why. So we also call this thing as specific immunity. So guys, if this is specific, then always remember this one is also known as non-specific immunity. Okay, even though it has specific and non-specific, we still call this thing as non-specific immunity. You just keep this thing in mind. Sometimes they may just quiz you on this thing. Okay, but now when we talk about your acquired immunity, like I said, when are you going to get this thing? You're going to get this thing as you move on in life, as you start suffering from different diseases and all, then only you're going to get this thing. Okay, but now what is this going to be further divided? Guys, acquired immunity, this is divided into active immunity and passive immunity. Okay, so what is the difference between the two? Okay, so now remember, active immunity means what? Your antibodies are produced in your body only. Okay, in your body only. Okay, this thing. But now when we talk about passive immunity means antibodies are produced in someone else, are produced by or in some other organism, and then these antibodies are given to you. Then these antibodies are given to you. This is the difference. Passive meaning you are getting the antibodies focused में. Active immunity meaning you are like paying for it. You are actually working for it. That is why this is active immunity. But now guys, active immunity is further going to be divided into two more parts. So we have naturally acquired active immunity, or we have artificially acquired active immunity. Okay, so naturally acquired active immunity and artificially acquired active immunity. Okay, and same way when we talk about passive immunity, once again we have the same thing out over here. So we have naturally acquired passive immunity, and we have on the other side artificially acquired passive immunity. Okay, but now let's try to see. So naturally acquired active immunity, meaning you are going to develop antibodies in yourself naturally. When is this going to happen, guys? This is going to happen when you suffer from diseases. Okay, when you suffer from diseases, infections, etc., you start producing antibodies. And now once you have made antibodies, you are going to be like immune to the disease. So this is natural. But then artificially acquired active immunity, guys, here, artificially, how are you going to get the germs? This is going to be by vaccinations. So by vaccination and immunization. Okay, then you are going to get artificially acquired active immunity. Okay, but now on the other side, guys, we have naturally acquired passive immunity. Okay, so how is this going to be naturally acquired passive immunity? So right now also here I've told you that, guys, antibodies are produced, okay, by some other organism and then they are given to you. Okay, so how is this thing done naturally, guys? Naturally this is going to be given to you by my mother. Okay, so when we have our mother, the mother gives antibodies. The antibodies gives, the mother gives antibodies to the fetus. Okay, through the placenta. Yes, so this is naturally. See, this is natural process. So one is this, and yes, very nice, common. Okay, and the second thing is, guys, by your colostrum. Okay, when you have good amount of this thing, like the colostrum, you are going to just give it to the baby, because this colostrum is going to be really rich in your proteins, rich in your antibodies, rich in your markers which are going to make sure that the disease is not caused into you. That is nothing but your colostrum. What is colostrum? It is like the cow's first milk or the baby's first milk after it is born. Okay, so that way. Okay, so in Marathi, if you know, we call this thing as cheek, and we get kharvas out of that. Okay, so that is colostrum. Okay, and finally, guys, let's try to move on to this thing. So if we have artificially acquired passive immunity, so how is this, guys? So in this case, it is very simple. What we are going to do is, the antibodies, they are developed in your horses or any other organism. Okay, the antibodies, they are developed. Shit. They are developed in horse by some or the other way and then injected into you. Okay, so this is going to be the artificial. Okay, sir, I had a doubt that after C-section, mother cannot breastfeed till 1 or 2 days or so. So then what about the colostrum? No issues. The colostrum is still going to be there in the mother's mammary glands, because then when she starts, then at that time, you're going to see that the colostrum is going to be released that way. Okay, so guys, basically these are all, okay, these are all the different things that we need to know about your immunity. So guys, just have a look, just see if you guys are okay with this thing. Okay, you need to know this chart because later on in your textbook they have messed a little bit of things up. Okay, just go through this if you have any doubts. Okay, so guys, what we'll do is we'll stop over here for the day. Okay, and next class when we come back, guys, we'll continue with this thing. We'll talk about, I thought vaccination would be in artificially passive. No, 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 no. See, in artificially passive, we need to develop antibodies. We need to get antibodies from some other organism, right? So in naturally acquired passive immunity, okay, only here we are going to see that the mother is going to be there. Okay, artificially, it can be from any other organism. It can be from your cows, dogs, pigs, cattle, anybody. That way. No. Okay, so here both of them, they are two different things. So it is said that if a person gets a dog bite and if first rainfall shower falls on him, he behaves like dog. Is there any scientific reason? No, 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 no scientific reason behind it. No. Okay, chalo. So guys, once again, we'll stop over here for the day and I'll see you in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye. Bye.